Zax. 9 fluttered his upper appendages in a universal gesture of exasperation. The Galactic Council chamber buzzed with the usual cacophony of translated voices, holographic displays, and the occasional biochemical emission from the methane-breathing delegates. Another day, another petition from some backwater planet begging for admission into the Galactic Alliance. Next case, announced Grand Arbiter Plex, her 7 eyes blinking in sequence, a sign she was growing impatient. Earth. Sol System. Spiral Arm 17. Classification. Developing world. A ripple of amused, chittering spread through the chamber. Earth. That peculiar blue marble whose inhabitants still thought digital watches were a pretty neat idea. Remind me, said Counselor Drone of the Centauri Collective, his translucent skin pulsing with bioluminescent mockery. Aren't these the beings who spent several centuries believing the universe revolved around their planet? The very same, confirmed Zax, 9, pulling up the holographic file with an idle tentacle. They have also fought approximately 15,000 wars among themselves over arbitrary geographical boundaries and imaginary deities. And they want to join us. Plex's primary breathing sac inflated with what passed for laughter in her species. On what possible grounds? The chamber doors parted with a pneumatic hiss, and in walked, stumbled, the human representative. The being wore what appeared to be formal attire by Earth standards, a rumpled suit and a strip of fabric dangling from a neck that served no discernible purpose. The human's face was flushed, suggesting either emotional distress or poor adaptation to the chamber's atmospheric composition. Ambassador Thomas Parker of Earth announced the protocol droid, its metallic voice echoing through the chamber. Here to present Earth's petition for membership in the Galactic Alliance. Parker cleared his throat, a peculiar human habit that Zax, 9, found endlessly fascinating. Distinguished members of the Council, Parker began, his voice quavering slightly. I come before you today representing not just a government, but a species at a crossroads. Zax, 9, settled back in his hover seat, preparing for the usual platitudes. Every developing world made the same speech. We have overcome our primitive ways. We have achieved peace. We have mastered clean energy. Blah, blah, blah. Earth faces extinction. Parker continued, his bluntness causing several counselors to perk up their various sensory organs. Not from our own doing, though we have certainly tried our best to self-destruct over the millennia, but from an astronomical anomaly. Specify, demanded Plex, suddenly interested. A rogue black hole, Parker replied, activating a portable hologram projector. Currently invisible to your long-range sensors due to a unique radiation field surrounding it. Our scientists detected it through a mathematical quirk, a pattern in gravitational waves that preposterous, interrupted Counselor Vrex, the Arcturian physicist whose equations had revolutionized interstellar travel. Our detection systems are infallible. Parker smiled, a gesture that involved baring teeth, which caused several delegates to activate their defense shields. With all due respect, Counselor, they are not. The black hole is approaching at relativistic speeds and will intersect with 6 major hyperlanes, including the Orion Cygnus trade route, in approximately 27 standard months. The chamber erupted in overlapping voices. Zax, 9, quickly verified the human's claims against Earth's data package. The calculations were surprisingly elegant, primitive, yet innovative. If accurate, this rogue black hole would indeed disrupt the most lucrative trade routes in the sector. Silence. Plex's voice boomed through the chamber. Ambassador Parker, why bring this to our attention now? Why not simply submit your findings to the Astronomical Survey Corps? Parker's expression grew grim. We tried. For 3 years. Your bureaucracy classified our transmissions as speculative data from a non-verified source. In other words, you ignored us because we are not members of your club. Zax, 9, felt a twinge of embarrassment ripple through his chromatophores. The human wasn't wrong. And now, Parker continued, we find ourselves in a position to offer a mutually beneficial arrangement. Earth requests admission to the Alliance, with all the protections and opportunities that entails. In exchange, we provide the complete data on the black hole, plus something else you need. And what might that be? Asked Drune skeptically. A solution. Parker tapped his projector again, displaying a complex series of equations and engineering schematics. Our scientists have developed a gravitational deflection method. Theoretical, but sound. The only problem is we lack the resources and technology to implement it. You have both. Vrex studied the equations, all 8 of her eye stalks widening in surprise. This could work. The mathematics are unorthodox, but strangely elegant. Zax, 9, felt the atmosphere in the room shift. The amused condescension was evaporating, replaced by calculating interest. The human had managed something remarkable. He made Earth suddenly useful. The council will recess to evaluate these claims, Plex announced. Ambassador Parker, remain available for questioning. As the delegates filed out, Zax, 9, approached the human. Impressive presentation, Ambassador. But I'm curious, if this black hole is such a threat, why not simply evacuate your people to another system? Parker smiled again, this time without showing teeth. Because Earth is our home, Counselor Zax, 9. And because we are stubborn like that. Besides, he added with a peculiar expression Zax 9's translator identified as wry amusement, we have learned through bitter experience that refugees rarely receive a warm welcome, no matter which planet they are from. For the first time in his 300-cycle career, Zax 9 found himself speechless in the face of a primitive species wisdom point 2 cycles later. Earth's petition remained in bureaucratic limbo. Zax 9 had been assigned to the verification team, tasked with determining whether the human's black hole detection and deflection theories had merit. The council had dispatched him to Earth alongside Vrex and a contingent of scientific observers. Their ship now orbited the blue planet, a world Zax 9 had previously known only through cultural transmissions, mostly something called reality television that seemed anything but real. Fascinating architecture, noted Vrex as their shuttle descended toward a complex called CERN in a region humans called Switzerland. Primitive but purposeful. Their entire civilization is like that, replied Zax 9, reviewing the briefing materials. They have developed in fits and starts. Quantum computing alongside internal combustion engines. Gene editing alongside fossil fuels. Contradictory creatures, Vrex agreed. No wonder they've been denied Alliance membership for so long. The shuttle landed on a circular pad. Waiting to greet them was Ambassador Parker and a diverse group of humans in white laboratory coverings. Counselors, Parker bowed slightly. Welcome to Earth. May I present Dr. Sophia Okonkwo, lead astrophysicist on the Black Hole Deflection Project. A dark-skinned human female stepped forward. Welcome, honored guests. We have prepared a complete demonstration of our detection methodology and deflection theories. Zax 9 followed the humans into a vast chamber filled with equipment. Over the next 6 Earth hours, Dr. Okonkwo and her team walked the alien delegation through their discovery. The mathematics were undeniable, the evidence compelling. Earth had indeed discovered what the Alliance's trillion-credit detection grid had missed. A stealth black hole on a collision course with the busiest sector of galactic commerce. Your detection method is ingenious, admitted Vrex grudgingly, using gravitational wave interference patterns as a form of shadow detection. Simple necessity, Dr. Okonkwo replied. When you can't afford high-end sensors, you learn to be creative with the tools you have. Zax 9 found himself intrigued by the human's approach. And your deflection proposal? The schematics suggest you want to create a counter-gravitational field using dark energy manipulation. Precisely, confirmed another scientist, introducing himself as Dr. Jun Zhang. We can't stop the black hole, but we can nudge its trajectory by approximately 0.0047 degrees, enough to miss the hyperlanes completely. The energy requirements would be astronomical, objected Vrex, which is why we need Alliance resources, Parker interjected smoothly, in return for saving your economy from catastrophic disruption. Later, as the alien delegation returned to their shuttle, Vrex vibrated her eye stalks in the Arcturian expression of deep thought. These humans are cleverer than our reports indicated. Indeed, Zax 9 agreed. But the Council won't grant membership based on a single scientific discovery, no matter how valuable. Then perhaps, suggested Vrex, we should investigate further, see what other surprises these humans might offer. 3 Earth months later, Zax 9 found himself once again before the Galactic Council. this time presenting his findings alongside Vrex. The human detection method is sound, Vrex explained to the assembled delegates. We have confirmed the existence and trajectory of the black hole. Without intervention, 6 major hyperlanes will be compromised within 2 cycles, resulting in an estimated economic impact of 18.7 quadrillion credits. Murmurs spread through the chamber. Even the most skeptical counselors couldn't ignore a threat of that magnitude. And their proposed solution? Asked Plex. Theoretically viable, Zax-9 replied. With Alliance resources and technology, the human deflection method can be implemented within 14 months. However, he added, our investigation revealed something even more significant. A hush fell over the chamber. The humans possess other innovations that may be valuable to the Alliance. Their scientific approach is unorthodox, combining intuitive leaps with empirical rigor in ways our methodologies don't account for. They solve problems differently. Example, demanded Counselor Drun. Zax-9 activated a holographic display. During our stay, we observed their response to a planetary emergency, a massive geological disturbance they call an earthquake. Their disaster response protocols achieved an efficiency rating of 89.3%, despite limited resources and primitive technology. That's higher than the Alliance average, noted Plex with surprise. Indeed, they have developed remarkable adaptability through necessity. They routinely accomplish significant achievements with insufficient resources, contradicting our standard development models. Ambassador Parker stood quietly at the side of the chamber, his expression carefully neutral, though Zax-9 detected the subtle physiological signs of human satisfaction. The black hole solution alone justifies serious consideration of their petition, Vrex added. But there's more. Their cultural and scientific diversity, which we previously considered chaotic and inefficient, generates innovation at rates that exceed our projections for species at their development stage. Plex's 7 eyes blinked in rapid succession. You seem to have developed an unusually favorable opinion of these humans. Counselor Zax-9, I have developed an accurate opinion based on direct observation. Zax-9 countered. Previously, we dismissed Earth as unremarkable. The evidence suggests otherwise. The debate raged for hours. Many counselors remained skeptical, citing Earth's violent history, political fragmentation, and technological inconsistencies. Others, led by Vrex, argued that human unpredictability might be precisely what the increasingly stagnant Alliance needed. Finally, Plex called for order. We faced 2 separate questions. First, shall we implement the human deflection plan to save the hyperlanes? Second, does Earth merit Alliance membership? If I may, interrupted Parker, speaking for the first time. Earth doesn't require full membership immediately. We propose a provisional status. Give us access to Alliance scientific databases and limited technology transfers. In return, we will establish a joint Human Alliance Innovation Institute, sharing our unorthodox problem-solving approaches. Zax-9 marveled at the human's political instinct. Parker had just offered the Council a perfect compromise, a way to benefit from Earth's innovations without immediately granting them full voting rights. After another hour of deliberation, the vote was taken. Earth would receive Provisional Alliance status, the deflection plan would proceed, and the Innovation Institute would be established on Earth's moon AS. The chamber emptied. Parker approached Zax-9. Thank you for your fair assessment, Counselor. I simply reported the facts, Zax-9 replied. Though I must admit, I didn't expect to find myself advocating for Earth's inclusion. Parker smiled. That's our specialty, exceeding expectations when it matters most. By the way, he added casually, we have been solving another little problem during these negotiations. Our team thinks they have found a way to improve Alliance FTL drive efficiency by 22%. Zax-9's chromatophores flashed with surprise. You have been studying our propulsion systems? You left the schematics accessible on our research network. Apparently, you didn't think we'd understand them. Parker's expression contained the human quality their translator identified as mischief. We have figured out how to reduce quantum flux in the dilithium matrix by using an adaptive algorithm instead of a static one. Impossible, Zax-9 sputtered. Our engineers have tried for decades. Different perspective, different solution. Parker shrugged. We'd be happy to demonstrate. Perhaps at the new Innovation Institute. As the human walked away, Zax-9 realized with absolute certainty that the Galactic Alliance had just fundamentally changed, and that underestimating humans might be the last mistake anyone in the galaxy would make. 1 standard cycle later, Zax-9 found himself in the unusual position of attending a celebration on Earth. The Black Hole Deflection Project had succeeded spectacularly, altering the rogue black hole's trajectory with even greater precision than predicted. The event was taking place in a region called New York, in a towering structure that appeared to serve no purpose other than to demonstrate the human fascination with height. Delegates from across the Alliance mingled with Earth's scientific and political elite, sampling human cocktails and attempting to appreciate human music, a challenging proposition for species with different auditory ranges. Counselor Zax-9, Parker approached, accompanied by Dr. Okonkwo and several other humans. Enjoying the party? Fascinating cultural experience, Zax-9 replied diplomatically, choosing not to mention that the noise level was causing his tertiary neural filaments to tingle uncomfortably. The Alliance is gratified by the success of the deflection project. Dr. Okonkwo smiled. More than gratified, from what I hear. The efficiency improvements we suggested for your quantum communication network have already increased bandwidth by 40%. Indeed, acknowledged Zax-9, the Innovation Institute has proven unexpectedly productive. And yet, Parker noted, sipping from his glass, our petition for full membership remains pending. The Council seems reluctant to move beyond our provisional status. Zax-9's chromatophores rippled with the equivalent of a sigh. There remain concerns about Earth's political unity, Ambassador. The Alliance typically admits planets with singular governance structures. Parker exchanged glances with his colleagues. Funny you should mention that. We have been discussing that very issue with the Planetary Council. Zax-9 tilted his upper appendage in the gesture of curiosity. Oh, it occurs to us, continued Parker, that there's precedent within the Alliance Charter for membership of a federated planetary system rather than a single unified government. The Proxima colonies, for instance. A creative interpretation of the Charter, Zax-9 acknowledged cautiously. Furthermore, added Dr. Okonkwo, the Innovation Institute has become indispensable to the Alliance. We now have over 300 joint projects in development, with projected economic benefits exceeding the cost of the black hole deflection by a factor of 10. Zax-9 recognized the subtle negotiating strategy. The humans weren't making demands. They were simply pointing out that denying them full membership was becoming increasingly difficult to justify. I will convey your perspectives to the Council, he promised. Excellent. Parker raised his glass. A toast, then, to unexpected alliances. Across the room, Zax-9 noticed Grand Arbiter Plex engaged in animated conversation with a group of human scientists. Her traditional formal regalia had been modified to accommodate what appeared to be a human bow tie. More surprising was her demeanor. All 7 eyes focused attentively, without the usual signs of impatience or condescension. Perhaps most telling was the presence of Counselor Drun, once Earth's most vocal critic, now enthusiastically sampling human cuisine while discussing something called jazz with a human cultural attaché. The galaxy was changing, Zax-9 realized. The established order, the careful hierarchies, the predictable patterns, all were being subtly reconfigured by humanity's unexpected influence. And strangest of all, he found himself welcoming it 0.5 cycles after Earth's initial petition. Zax-9 stood at the speaking platform in the Galactic Council chamber. As primary advocate for Earth's full membership, he faced the assembled delegates with a mixture of professional pride and personal conviction. Distinguished counselors, he began, his translator converting his natural ultrasonic communication into the standard galactic frequency. We gather today to vote on Earth's transition from provisional to full Alliance membership. The chamber was unusually crowded. Representatives from across the Alliance filled the observation galleries, many of them with direct connections to the now famous Innovation Institute. When humans first approached this council, they were dismissed as an unremarkable species from an unremarkable world. Today, the Proxima Centauri trade route runs exclusively on human-inspired propulsion systems. The Alliance Communication Network incorporates human cryptographic protocols. 17 formerly incurable xenodiseases have been addressed through human medical approaches. Zax-9 paused, allowing his words to resonate. But more significant than any specific innovation is what humans have brought to our collective consciousness, a different way of seeing. Their contradictions, which we once mocked, have proven to be their greatest strength. Ambassador Parker sat in the petitioners section, flanked by Dr. Okonkwo and Dr. Zhang. Behind them, a delegation of Earth's political leaders represented the newly formed Terran Federation, a compromised governance structure that preserved Earth's cultural diversity while meeting Alliance membership requirements. The Alliance Charter speaks of unity through diversity, strength through difference. No species embodies these principles more fully than humans. They do not think as we do. They do not solve problems as we do. And because of this, they have enriched us immeasurably. In the 5 cycles since Earth's provisional acceptance, human innovations had spread throughout Alliance space. Their unorthodox approaches had revitalized stagnant fields, challenged entrenched methodologies, and introduced an element of unpredictability that had, paradoxically, strengthened the Alliance's position in the greater galactic community. The Bylaws Committee has verified that Earth meets all technical requirements for full membership. Zax-9 continued. The Economic Council has certified that human contributions have generated a 14.3% increase in Alliance-wide prosperity. The Security Directorate confirms that human defensive innovations have enhanced our collective safety. Grand Arbiter Plex, presiding over what would likely be her final major vote before retirement, nodded for Zax-9 to conclude. Distinguished counselors, I stand before you not merely as primary advocate for Earth, but as a witness to transformation. 5 cycles ago, we mocked Earth's petition. Today, we recognize that the Galactic Alliance needs Earth as much as Earth needs the Alliance. I urge you to vote in favor of full membership. The voting process was brief and decisive. With an overwhelming majority, Earth was accepted as the newest full member of the Galactic Alliance. The chamber erupted in multi-species applause, a cacophony of sounds that somehow blended into a harmonious whole. Later, at the formal reception, Zax-9 found Parker standing alone on an observation deck, gazing out at the spectacular nebula that served as backdrop to Alliance headquarters. Congratulations, Ambassador. Or should I say, Counselor Parker? Parker turned, his expression contemplative. Thank you, Zax-9. Though I wonder if you realize what you have done by championing our cause so effectively. Ensured galactic peace and prosperity, suggested Zax-9 lightly. Parker laughed. Perhaps, but you have also unleashed humanity on an unsuspecting galaxy. We are notoriously hard to contain once we get started. That, admitted Zax-9, is precisely what the Alliance needs. We had grown too predictable, too set in our ways. You humans, with your contradictions and your chaotic innovation, you are a necessary disruption. Careful, warned Parker with a smile. That almost sounds like affection. Zax-9's chromatophores rippled with amusement. Scientific appreciation. Parker gazed back out at the stars. You know, when I first stood before the Council 5 cycles ago, I was terrified. Not of you or the other aliens, but of failing. Earth needed this Alliance. And now the Alliance needs Earth. Zax-9 completed the thought. A most unexpected symmetry. Life's funny that way, Parker replied. Today's joke becomes tomorrow's essential truth. Beyond the observation window, a transport ship departed the station, its engines flaring with the distinctive blue signature of human-modified propulsion technology. In its wake, thousands more ships moved through the complex dance of galactic commerce and exploration, their paths now secure from the black hole that would have disrupted everything. Zax-9 reflected on the strange journey that had brought them all to this moment. How the Council had laughed at Earth's petition. How that laughter had turned first to interest, then respect, and finally to genuine appreciation. So, Parker asked, interrupting Zax-9's thoughts, what happens next? Zax-9's upper appendages fluttered in the gesture of unlimited possibility. That, Counselor Parker, is the one question to which even humans don't have the answer. And that is precisely what makes the future so intriguing. Together, Human and alien watch the stars. Equal members of a galactic community, neither could have imagined just 5 cycles before. The joke, it seemed, had been on everyone, and all were better for it.